Everyone to Skate Control. We'll send you back to the BMO Financial Group Canadian Championships, the juniors. Tracy Wilson with us now. Time to dance, which you have always loved to do, and a lot of these kids love to do. But I think a lot of these kids have also been inspired by the junior team that won last year.
Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer, as you said, won the junior title and then went on this year to finish 4th at the senior championships. They were 11th at Junior Worlds, and, you know, this year one of the top teams in the world at the junior level. And I think what they've shown the other dancers is it's possible. You know, in the past, it used to be with ice dance, you just have to wait your turn and kind of spend the years to climb up the ladder. And I don't think that's necessarily true, and Virtue and Moyer have proved that's wrong.
And that also could have a lot to do with the scoring system now. A lot of dance teams are going, hey, forget the protocol, forget reputation. You know, with the point system, we just have to do the stuff.
They have to do the stuff, and they also get instant feedback about how they are doing and how they can improve in the season, which was very different in my day. I mean, you got no feedback. You either liked your programs or they didn't, but you never really knew why. And I think that's a dramatic improvement for the skaters of today. Instant feedback, this is what you have to work on, this is what's weak.
Everybody loved your programs, though. Nobody ever said anything bad about your programs. Let's talk about the programs for the kids at the juniors. The standings after the original dance, it's 1, 2, 3, Ontario. In fact, it hasn't changed to top the standings. 1, 2, and 3, Karam and McGrath leading the way, and that's the point total that we'll be watching. And on the ice, Ali Han McCurdy and Michael Carino. Team that last year was 7th, so they're making a big leap this year. Podium finish, maybe even gold, who knows?
Skating to Beethoven's last night, and I think this look really suits them. The music is fast and quite dramatic, and it suits their free-flowing style. Choreographed by Igor Spielban and Kelly Johnson.
Been a fine season for this pair. Made it to the Junior Grand Prix final. Finished 7th there.
There's 2 spots on the Junior World team. Virtue and Moyer will get one of those spots, so there is one up for grabs, and you can bet the winner of this competition will also win a spot on the Junior World team. So this is weighing on their minds. Sitting in 2nd place at this point. The highest point values comes from the circular footwork sequence, which they're executing right now.
Ali Han McCurdy, Michael Carino. Again, 7th a year ago, so this team has made great strides in a year. Very confident, too.
And that's because, obviously, they're well-trained. You could see in that performance they were holding nothing back. They had some very strong moments and strong elements in this program. Let's take a look at this footwork sequence here. A little bit of distance between the hips. You can see the two, you could see right through them there, and you need to get closer for that element, especially to get up to the senior level. And the judges will be looking for that high level of difficulty in that footwork sequence. They're pushing themselves technically. Now they just have to close up the gap a little bit. I think the weakness in that program would come in the transitions, the moves between the elements. They're a new team. They've only been together for a couple of years. And so because of that, some of their changes of position are a little bit rough. Overall, though, very strong.
Yeah, and a 20-year-old, a very strong marks. Those are the marks we'll be watching. 152.64 leaders right now. Here are the leaders after the compulsory and the original dance. Taking center ice at the John Labatt Center in London, might become junior dance champions. Siobhan Karam and Joshua McGrath.
Skating to Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Program choreographed by Igor Shvildan, Marina Zueva.
This team has finished 3rd the last 2 years. Barring disaster, they will have a different color medal this year.
Well, it was a disaster that kept them out of gold last year. They had a fall in the free dance, and it allowed Virtue and Moyer to win the competition. They have wonderful speed, and you can see deep knee bends that allow them to carry the flow across the ice. They've interpreted the changes in the music very well. Often the younger teams will skate through the music, but they really soften their lines and their expression in this slow piece, and are making the most of deep edges and deep knees. And now right back into the strong, powerful character of the dance as the music changes. Very effective. No mistakes this year.
And you don't think that they've had a few nightmares over the last year about their disaster in the free dance that cost them the gold. And you know they're also looking at the success that Virtue and Moyer have had and probably realizing, hey, we skated eye to eye with that team. Now, maybe it's our turn.
Well, they're also training mates of Virtue and Moyer, which allows both teams to push each other. And competition in that case is a great thing. It just keeps you on your toes. Wonderful knee work, as I mentioned, throughout that program, and it gives them a smoothness and a speed that I think is what sets them apart in this competition. They also kept the character of the dance throughout the program. They didn't let it down. Siobhan has wonderful lines and is a very elegant skater. Joshua, a good match for her. He's very athletic and dramatic. Oh, well-skated program.
Well skated because they lead and might not be caught. Leaders throughout so far, but more to come from London. So right now, Karam and McGrath lead. And on the ice, Alice Graham and Andrew Pogier. The Ontario teams skating very well in this dance competition.
Are you a Mexican?
And I would say the Mexican theme is also prevalent.
Once again, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Popular piece of music this year. Quite a distance between them. They are a new team. They've only been together for a year. And having the space between them allows a greater room for error. But unfortunately will not get them the higher marks from the judges because it is easier to skate with that space between you. That's something they have to kind of work on over the next few years.
Pair of 17-year-olds. Alice is from North Bay, Ontario. Andrew down the road in the Waterloo region.
And Andrew Pogier.
What did you think of the youngsters?
You know what? I really like them. I think any of their weaknesses are a result of the fact that they've only been together a year, but I'm watching them and they're both very strong skaters, aggressive skaters. Neither of them are holding back. I think they're a good match for each other. They're rough around the edges, as you can see here, and that's something that just comes with time. I think they're diamonds in the rough. They still have to refine their skating. It's a little bit messy in places, a little bit off balance, but I like the fact that they are attacking. They are strong, fast skaters, get down in their knees. They're not afraid of the difficult footwork, as you can see here. It's just a matter of time with this team.
Well, here come their marks. Wouldn't that be something, too, together such a short time and making it to the podium here? Let's see what happens. Components, technical elements, no deductions. 65.45, there are the smiles.
Good for them.
And there is confirmation. They make it to the podium, an Ontario sweep in junior dance. Karam and McGrath, champions, following in the footsteps, the dance steps of Virtue and Moyer. Maybe a competition they could have had a year ago. Those were the free dance results and the final results. Han McCurdy and Carino, and Graham and Poget, the bronze medal, and some of the other dance teams competing here in London. And here are our champions.
Congratulations. We know the history. 2 years in a row, third place. We know the fall last year took you out of it. So how relieved are you now to finally win this?
I'm just really thrilled about it. It's really great to finally get a first place finish.
And the fact that you skated second, were you worried about the draw? You responded, I thought, wonderfully to the challenge.
We weren't worried at all. We liked getting it over with. It was good. We didn't have to wait too long after warm-up. So we're just thinking of our skating, and we did our best. So we're just so happy with that.
Yes, absolutely. Did their best, and they won the gold medal. And I thought their free dance outshone the original dance.
Yeah, I was very impressed with their free dance. And in fact, each time I've watched this team, I see something more in their skating, and I like them more. You notice some of the more subtle qualities that they have, and in particularly in the way they interpret their music, and they did an excellent job in that free dance of that.
Everybody talks about depth in Canada in the disciplines. What about an ice dance?
Well, I thought all three teams looked strong. The top team will move up to seniors next year, and then there's a couple teams building in the wings. And you know, these skaters now, I just believe they have a sense that they can do it. They've watched their teammates rise to the occasion, and I think for them, they just have to all go after it, because it's, you know, a bright future for all of these skaters. Again, terrific depth in the at the junior level.
Yeah, we'll see that in the women's skating coming up next. Stand by for that. An all-Ontario 1, 2, 3 ice dance finish with Karam and McGrath wearing gold, finally, at the National.